Hi guys, Jimmy here. Welcome back to my channel. So it's a first for me on this channel. I'm going to be making a watch list vlog. So I've seen many of them, but I've never actually made one myself. So I thought, you know what? I've watched a fair few films and a classic British TV series over the past couple of weeks. So I thought I'd show you what I've been watching. So first up, it was the Monsterverse. Yes, I revisited all these with the tragic news of the passing of the young girl who played in Godzilla v Kong and Godzilla Kong The New Empire, Katie Hodder, passing away. I decided to revisit this franchise. It was worth it because I hadn't actually seen these in years, and you know what? This was still sealed. So when I first bought it as a first day release or something, I never actually watched it. So that was a brand new first time watch, but still my favorite of the whole series by far is Kong Skull Island. Absolutely think this is brilliant. The right amount of action, humor, and storyline in this one. Did like Godzilla, you know, the one that kicked it off with the new reimagining of it, with Bryan Cranston in it. Wasn't too keen on Godzilla King of Monsters. I just found that overly long. I thought it was really long. Enjoyed Kong versus Godzilla. I like the action scenes in there. I thought that was very good. Enjoyed that one. But the worst one was The New Empire. I thought this was shocking. I really did. I could not believe how bad this was. The zoologist, the vet, whatever you want to call him, was he the Australian guy in there who was just trying to make jokes all the time? This was a hard watch. It was a shame because you could see they were just running out of ideas. But that was my thoughts on this one. I just thought that was not a good way to make this film. It could have been so much better. But yeah, I enjoyed that. And as I said, Skull Island is probably my favorite of the lot. I then watched this, The Punisher. Never seen this in its entirety before. When they showed the three tenants in the block, that's when I realised that I'd saw part of it, but I never actually saw the whole lot of it. So I sat down, watched this, and thoroughly enjoyed it. It's very graphic. I couldn't believe this was a Marvel film. It makes Deadpool look like a children's playground. Honestly, this was graphic, especially the scene where they're getting the family reunion and they're taking them all out. That was brutal, but I'm glad I watched it. I will definitely watch that again at some stage. Then I watched Swordfish. What can I say? Can't go wrong. What did make me laugh was when I see Hugh Jackman in one of the first scenes where he's trying to hack into the computer at the timeline. In the time frame given to him. He's randomly just tapping keys. That did make me laugh, but I've got a bit of time for Swordfish there. Then I revisited a film that was on my 10 remakes, and I watched Quarantine and Quarantine 2 Terminal. Really, really enjoyed this. Actually, I was surprised how much I enjoyed part 2. Yeah, I hadn't seen that one in donkeys, but when I made that vlog the other week, I thought I'd revisit it, and I'm glad I did because it was long overdue rewatch. Then again, someone taken from us way too soon, Brandon Lee, Rapid Fire. I thought I had Showdown in Little Tokyo, but I don't, so I'm going to be hunting for that DVD at some stage. Thoroughly enjoyable. What I really liked about Brandon Lee is he didn't take himself too seriously in some of his in the few films that he made. He always had that humour with him, and yeah. If you haven't seen this, worth checking out. It's about an hour and 20 minutes long or something, hour and 25 minutes long. But it was, sorry, 1 hour, 30 minutes. It was an enjoyable film, and I will definitely revisit that one again. Maybe not for a year or two, but I'll definitely revisit it. Then, 2 Jason Statham films. Jason Statham doing what he does best, trying to stay out of trouble, but not quite managing it. Homefront, I really like this. James Franco's brother-in-law, is it? Just can't help himself because he's trying to protect James Franco's sister in the film, who's a bit of a crazy woman, shooting off her mouth. Thoroughly enjoyed this. Really, really like this film. I've got a lot of time for that. Then watched the John Carpenter one. Haven't seen this in years. Probably will never watch it again now. And that's Ghost of Mars. It's got Pam Grier in it. Any film with Pam Grier is a plus for me. But yeah, Pam Grier is the highlight of this film. You know, but the film itself isn't brilliant in my opinion. It's a shame. As I say, I've seen this a few times, but I probably won't revisit this film ever again now. If I do, it might be just if it's on ITV4 or something like that in the evening and there's nothing on whilst I'm flicking through the channels. Then I watched parts 2 and 3 the other night. So I got this box set a while back. I'd seen John Carpenter's Vampires. I've got some media book somewhere. Absolutely love that. What a film that is. But then I watched part 2, Los Muertos, and it's John Bon Jovi's in it. Great singer, don't get me wrong. And I love the backstory to how Young Guns 2 got made, with him releasing that song Blaze of Glory or whatever it's called. And yeah, it's not the best film, Los Muertos. It struggles a bit. It's a bit of a shame that he went into that film, but maybe he was hoping it would lead on to something else. And then I watched Vampires The Turning, set in Bangkok. So I was really looking forward to this film. Hence why I've got one of the Thai Premier League t-shirts on me at the moment. And that was a shocker too. You had vampire hunters hunting for the vampires, but also hunting for another form of vampire hunters. It was like it was only an hour and 20 minutes, so it was watchable. But Los Muertos and The Turning, I won't be revisiting them for a long time. But I will be going back to John Carpenter's Vampires pretty soon, because it has been a while since I've seen that. Then a film that I haven't seen since the days of VHS, and it was Stephen King's Sleepwalkers. This is a bit grainy on a DVD, but it brought me back to that time of VHS, so I was more than happy to watch it. I forgot about the relationship between the son and mother. When that first happened, I was like, oh God, yeah, I remember this now. It's enjoyable. There's some decent scenes in there, but yeah, the mother-son relationship is a bit strange, shall we say. And then a film I've only seen once before, and I really disliked it after the opening scene. And that is, I was going to say hang on. It's Cliffhanger, James. Sorry, Cliffhanger, not hang on, Cliffhanger. When this first came out, I watched it, and I remember the scene where Sylvester Stallone is trying to save the woman on the zip line or whatever it is they've put across between the two rocks, and he's reaching his hand out and it doesn't quite work out. And after that, the film went down for me when I first watched it, and I never watched it again, because I think this must have been the first film where such a dramatic scene set the tone for the film, and then after that everything else just didn't quite match up to it. However, on second viewing, and this is the second time I've watched it, I quite enjoyed it because I knew what to expect. And John Lithgow, yeah, he's batshit crazy in it. But I enjoyed it the second time around a lot more. It wasn't such a shock. And then before I go on to the rest of the physical media, I'll just tell you about some films that I streamed. So watched Project Hail Mary. Absolutely loved this. I've ordered the 4K Steelbook, which I'm really glad I did now. But I really, really like this. The character Rocky, the alien, is just brilliant. The film is about 2 hours, 20 minutes or something like that. Whew, fly straight by. Absolutely thought this film was fantastic. I'm a bit strange with Ryan Gosling films. I find him hit or miss. Like The Fall Guy, I didn't like. I've never seen Barbie. It doesn't interest me one bit in the slightest. But, you know, what was this other bloody film? I forgot what it was. Oh, I can't even remember what it is now. It's gone off my head. A couple of other films I do quite like. But, yeah, I'm very hit and miss on his films. But Project Hail Mary was very, very good. And I'm glad I streamed it, because now I can't wait to see it in 4K. The other film that I streamed, and I'm so glad I streamed it on Sky, was Normal. More like Abnormal. I can't say how poor this film was for me. If you loved it, fair enough. For me, this film was shocking. I love a popcorn film. I think The Beekeeper is a fantastic film. I absolutely love The Beekeeper. And when I was watching Normal, I was thinking, what the heck am I watching? You know, it's from the writers or creators of John Wick and Nobody, which I thought Nobody was brilliant. But I was sitting there watching it and thinking, what the heck's going on? The Yakuza have infiltrated a small Midwest American town, or wherever it is in America, and they corrupted the whole city. Even the kill scenes were nonsense. Yeah, it was just so far-fetched that I was getting more angry that, or sorry, not angry, I was getting more frustrated that the fact that I love a popcorn film, but even by my standards, I thought this film was, yeah, as I say, abnormal. I'm so glad I watched it on streaming, because if I'd ordered it, it would have been something that would have just sat on the shelf, and then in a year's time or so, I would have just traded it in at Computer Exchange for whatever they would have given me. I thought it was a shocker. I really did. I still can't quite believe it, how bad it was. But that's just me. That's just me. And I'm a strange person at the best of times. So yeah, Normal, not for me. Very abnormal. And then the other one I watched was Falling Down with Michael Douglas. That was unbelievable. I hadn't seen that in a long time. Oh, Drive was the Ryan Gosling film. Sorry, it's just popped back into my head. Falling Down. What a film. I so understand the frustrations now. as you get older, this film becomes more and more apparent when you walk into the shops and everything like that. Not the other part of the film where he's going batshit crazy, but yeah, it was hot at the time I was watching it as well, so you could just feel it, and you're going through the same rigmarole every day. Yeah, it was unbelievable to watch this film. I know there's been a collector's edition just come out of it. I won't be going for that, but I will be looking out for the DVD because I want to actually physically own this one. So I will be on the hunt for that in a charity shop probably. And then I've been revisiting The IT Crowd. What a TV series this is. It's so funny. Absolutely love it. You've got Richmond, you've got Roy, you've got Jen, and you've of course got Moss. It's just on another level of being one of the best TV series ever to come out of England. The irony in there is brilliant, especially I've watched a series the other day called, I think it was called Friends Face, where everyone starts connecting with people who they haven't spoke to in years, which sums up how it is this day and age, and how you get caught up in all that social media thing. But if you have never seen The IT Crowd, do check it out. Moss is one of my favourite sitcom characters of all time, just absolutely brilliant. And that was what I streamed. Everything else was physical media. And then I go back to, there was one more streaming actually. So I got back to watching Venom. So I've only seen this twice before. Had the steelbook for a while. Quite liked part one. Then again, I had Let There Be Carnage. It was still sealed, I think. I've never seen Let There Be Carnage. At an hour and a half, it was a bit of a tough watch. It was a shame. As I think AJ described it best when he said it was an opportunity missed. This character could have been so much better if they had just done slightly different storyline, different writing, especially on the sequels. The first one is what it should be, in my opinion, introducing the character and so forth. But part two, Let There Be Carnage, was, not brilliant. Shame, because Woody Harrelson was in it, and I think he could have done really well if the script was a bit different. And then I watched The Last Dance. It was a shame The Last Dance wasn't brilliant. Bit like when you're at a party and you want one last dance in the evening before you go home. And it was a shame. It was a shame. And then I revisited in hope of seeing the new Spider-Man film in the cinema, which I haven't done yet, and I probably won't now because it's too long after the horse has bolted. So guys, I started off watching Homecoming. I forgot about this. There's no backstory to Spider-Man's character in this. It's done in one of the early Avengers films. And then I went on to Far From Home, and I enjoyed this one a lot more the second time around. I've only seen it twice, funny enough, but this time watching it, I really, really liked it. The first time I saw it, I didn't like the whole illusion thing. I couldn't quite get my head around it. But this time around, for some reason, it really, really worked. And then I was watching No Way Home, and No Way Home is my favourite of the three, to be honest with you. I just loved having all the old characters back in there. I thought that was fantastic. But for me, Far From Home and No Way Home, I prefer over Homecoming. I know that might be a bit different to everybody else, but yeah, I enjoyed the second two. So I'm hopefully going to go and watch the fourth one at some stage, guys. But anyway, listen, that was my watch list. Thanks for watching, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you real soon next time when I charge up my mic properly. Take care, guys. Look after yourselves.